Hey guys, welcome to another video, another process video. Now this one is showing you a couple of different things. If you watched my Facebook Live the other night, it's still up on Facebook if you want to go and watch it. It was my very first one. It was a little scary, but that's okay. Had a couple of glitches, but that's fine. Now, during that live, I had a little tinker with something to see if it would work. So I have bought... They're from Crafts. You get 5 sheets of double-sided adhesive. So it's got a backing carry sheet on both the front and the back. And it's the size of an A4. So what I decided to do was, with my flocking powder, I wanted to see if I could do something, because you've got to apply it to a double-sided tape. So I wanted to see if I could cut out a shape. So I went to the Pear Tree Cut Files website and I purchased this heart border. Now, what I decided to do is I'm using up these are very large scraps, but nonetheless scraps, from the Paige Evans Garden Shop collection, or SHOPPE collection, however you want to say it. And what I wanted to do is normally I like to tear my paper and leave a white border. This time I chose to do the opposite. So instead of having lines horizontally standing out full on in your face, they're there, but it's pattern on pattern. It doesn't really jump out at you. Now, the heart paper that I've got in the background, that is new. So obviously that's a full sheet. That's not a scrap, but that's out of the paper pad as well. And all I basically did, I stuck those together so I could move them around as one individual piece. And it was at this point that I decided, right, I'm just going to commit to it, stick it down, and let's see if it works. So I cut the cut file out of a thicker cardstock, which is the Poppy Crafts. I think it's 80 pound. No, it's more than that. I don't even know what it is. But it's the stuff that I usually just use as a backing. I don't normally use that particular cardstock in my Cricut because quite often it splits in two. So I sort of end up with the backing of it still stuck to the Cricut sheet, cutting sheet. So I used it this time thinking we'll see what happens, and it worked really well. And that's okay. That totally okay with that. It's only 1 or 2 bits that I had to sort of get in there and help come off. Now, so this is where I'm just get it down, get the border down. Don't overthink this. The reason I did it slightly thicker and I didn't use my usual American Crafts textured white cardstock. The reason I didn't use that one is because sometimes when you cut a flimsy sort of cut file like this, with that, it doesn't automatically go down perfectly where it was because it's a little bit of a lighter weight cardstock. With my titles and stuff, that's perfectly fine. But what I'm doing here, so this is where so you can see my general layout. That's what it's going to be, right? The main reason I wanted to do this particular video is to show you that you can actually use... So this that I'm doing right now, this is me. I've just cut the same cut file out, right? But I've cut it out on the double-sided adhesive because I wanted to see if I could cut it out and then, so I'm just paper piecing these bits back in together. Now, because they're A4 and I did a full border, obviously I've got a bit of a line in the middle. So you can see there, it's not a problem. Honestly, completely doable. Don't stress about it. I was wondering if you would really notice it. And to be honest, I don't think you do. So I'm just going through paper piecing all the sticky bits in, but I'm just dry fitting them. So I'm not actually sticking them down as such. So at the moment, the tape is still concealed in both sides of the carrier sheet. So here is where I just went, you know what? I'm just going to commit. Let's see if I can do this. The hardest part about this was pulling the backing sheet off the right side. So you can see there, now I've got my perfect piece of adhesive in the love heart, and I'm just adding the flocking and rubbing it over with my finger, and bingo. What do I love about it the most? One, it's actually really neat. It's not messy at all. Compared to when I first used the flocking, which was my very first time, it got quite messy. I learnt from that obviously, one, keep your flocking in the tray. So when you take the lid off the flocking powder, leave it in your tray and just transfer a little bit and use your tweezers. Last time I used my little spoons that I use, way too messy. Don't do that. What I really love about this actual process is, one, I love how it just perfectly fits in there. I love the feel of the flocking, and because I've cut out the border in white cardstock, it's literally like trapping the flocking in each heart. It's so, it felt so good, let me tell you. It was amazing. The surprising thing that I actually didn't notice when I used it last time is, because I've put the pattern behind it, you can actually see where the flocking's not quite as thick. You can see that pattern coming through, and I actually really like that. So once I saw that happen on these couple of smaller hearts, I thought, you know what? I'm actually going to make sure that it looks like that all the way up. So I loved it. And I just used the carry sheet. The only thing I sort of made sure that I did was I was trying to make sure that I got all the sticky down in the grooves, because I wasn't too sure if I missed a little bit or if it rolled up or something. And that does happen later on in the video, okay, over on the other side. So I started off just at the bottom because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to carry the flocking all the way up the sides or if I wanted to leave them hollow at the top. But in the end, I end up doing the whole lot because I absolutely love how it turns out. Is it the busiest layout I've ever done? No. Is it the most complicated? No. But is it super effective, and is it fully achievable by any one of you? 100% yes. Totally. Now, if you cannot get your hands on, maybe you don't have an electronic cutting machine. Not everyone has a Cricut, not everyone has a Silhouette or a Brother Scan and Cut or any of those things. So not everyone has one of those. So what's an alternative? You could use dies. You could, if you've got a manual die cut machine, I've got the Spellbinders one. That works a treat for me, and it was a bargain when I purchased it. You could use different dies. You could, instead of just having them going around the border, you could do stars, you could do hearts, you could do circles, you could make these into clouds, any array of things you could put these to. Now, I only have 2 packets of the flocking. I got these little tiny packets and I thought that'll be a little sample tester, see if I like it, see if I don't. I got these from LINCRAFT a few weeks ago and I'm pleasantly happy with how they work. I absolutely love them. And yeah, so you can get the flocking from LINCRAFT. I know you can get it online. I did see it on Amazon the other day, but it was quite a bit more expensive than these 4 little pots. They come in like a little cluster of 4, and LINCRAFT had a few different colors as well. I was thinking I should have got the pink as well. Here I'm just trying to see if I can blend the flocking into, so maybe add a little bit of a darker hue to some of them, and you can. It does work. So it was more of a sort of a testing, see if it would work situation, and I think it totally does. Now, some of these hearts, they were a pain to get them. Now you can see this one. See how right there in that corner, I didn't get the heart perfectly straight. You get one, this is a one-time deal because you've only cut the adhesive once and so you kind of get one shot at getting the sticker down. That's the one issue. Now, you could what else could you do with this? You could be creating, you could do something like this and have your baby photos. You could have I know there are companies out there that cut the dies for you. So I know that Scrapbook Fantasies, they are up in Gladstone, and they actually cut the dies and you can buy them already made. So you could buy them from them. The downside to that is you won't have the ability to cut the adhesive a perfect shape. But that being said, if you wanted to maybe do a title, and if you chose one of their sort of more solid titles, you could easily trace it and cut it out to put it in the background, and that would totally work. I did it this way, obviously, because I have a Cricut, and it's a lot easier for me to film it when it runs a lot smoother. So I don't know if anybody else knows of where you can get actual die cuts, cut files cut. That's what I'm trying to say. Cut files cut. If you know anywhere that you can get them done, maybe, I don't know about America. I know there's a lot of people over there in the US that watch my channel. So if you guys can jump in there and sort of mention over there where a company may do it for you. Oh, excuse me, I need a drink. Oh my goodness. Whew. Wow, I nearly coughed really bad then. Okay, excuse me. So I go through and I do all this. Now, this is obviously my embellishment for my page. So I'm taking my time. It really only took me probably about an hour to do it all. I know that sounds like a lot of time when you say it like that, but it was so simple to do. And it was at this point that I realized, and I should have done this right from the beginning, it would have made it so much quicker. Just put all your adhesive down, leave the backing, the carrier sheet on the top, and just peel it off and keep going with your flocking. That worked so much quicker than doing the flocking, doing each individual one. The reason I still do them individually, but it was so much easier to put it all down like that and peel it, do it, rub it, then peel the next one, keep going. See how much quicker that is? So if you do give this a crack, do it like that. It's much quicker because you still got the backing sheet on the heart above it. So it's not getting on that one, but it just works out a lot quicker. So, yeah, so I thought this was a really cute way. I still got my border because I cut my border slightly smaller. So I ended up with a nice border all the way around. I do run a bit of pen work around there, peel in simply because that's just me and I like to do that. And I wanted to fiddle. So that is how I created my gorgeous little heart border. Again, that's a cut file from Pear Tree Cut Files, and that I have paid for myself. There's no kickback from them, but they do have a lot of beautiful cut files. I know Gwen from Cut to You, she has some gorgeous cut files as well, and there's a lot of those. I was thinking it was purely because I wanted a simple, basic, repetitive pattern. That's what I wanted on this, so that it was about the flocking, not the actual, I don't know. I didn't want it to be too busy. So I thought this one worked really well. And it came up pretty quickly on their website, so that's why I grabbed it from there, to be quite honest. So definitely leave a message below if you know of anywhere else. I just put a few stickers on here, puffy sheet stickers from the thickers called This and That. And that is, I'll put everything in the description below in case you want to find some. And I literally, this is just a blue felt pen. There's nothing fancy about this pen. It was a pack that I got from Kmart for, I think it was $3. So it's not even a fancy pen. So, and I just drew a few little hearts on it just to make the border stick out just a slight little bit more. So I absolutely love how it turned out. like I said, it's not the busiest layout that I've ever done, but it totally works. And the smile works perfectly because Jen is smiling like an angel. It is absolutely gorgeous. So this is me done. Now I'm going to do my quick shameless plug. I am so happy with how everything is cruising along. Everyone's happy. I've got a few new series coming up. I've got Smash a Pad, which is hopefully I've got a 6x6 paper pad coming. So hopefully that arrives real soon, and then I can start the next 6x6 paper pad smash. So this is it up close, guys. See how you can see the pattern through the flocking? I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, please, if you are not subscribed, I would love to have you as a subscriber. It helps my channel so much, along with likes, thumbs ups, comments. All of that really helps my channel get noticed by people, and that allows me to hopefully bring you more content. I do 6 videos a week, and I am here to do anything you like on a scrapbook page. Thanks for watching. Chat to you soon. Bye for now.